Finally, an opponent who's around my level. It takes way too long to find at the start of seasons. I think we're pretty much equal level. Maybe they're slightly higher. They're like maybe one level more in some things, but it's not by a lot. It's not something that matters at all. I think I'm going to pretty much mirror them. Let's actually put the Razormouth at the top here, just because it defends against the opponent's Razormouth then. And I think I want Tickles, just because it's tanky here. Could also have gone Cowbell. Both are fine options. Could just take this corner point with my Tickles. They might hit it with the, what's it called, the Unicorn, but that's not really a big deal. Could even use my Razormouth if I want to. I think I like using the Tickles a bit more for it though. If I move that down, maybe I don't even move it down. I think I'll go Gravedigger too. Gravedigger is good if you want to go for turrets here. If you're not going for turrets but like slightly faster units, you can often skip the Gravedigger. But Gravedigger is also just good if the opponent isn't using it. So if the opponent goes Gravedigger, it feels like you kind of have to go for it, in my experience. Because sometimes if you don't go Gravedigger, you will have this block here, and then the opponent's Gravedigger will go to the middle and put a block in front, and that is extremely annoying. Because you can't break it with your own Gravedigger, and you have to have some lobbers or a turret down here or something to defend against that kind of thing, which can be hard to do early on. So just mirroring them with your own Gravedigger makes more sense, I would say. You can play completely without Gravedigger here also though. And you just maybe bring like a Klepto or something like that, and that's pretty good. Some 1-keys under your hold points. You can also play for Inoculus if you want to, with a turret in front. Looks like they are AFK. That's fine, we'll just start another match right after this one. It's not a big deal. Also, my settings reset. I went back from a holiday like yesterday-ish in the middle of the night, and I came back to my PC now. So now I'm on PC, which I very much prefer. But my settings for like sound and everything has reset because of, I think it's either a Windows update or it's, what's it called, like OBS doing something when it gets updated maybe. Either way, my settings definitely aren't the same as before, so hopefully the sound is okay and stuff like that. And the video is also okay. Otherwise I'll just have to scrap it, but that would be annoying. We're just taking some points and doing some damage here. I actually kind of like Sucky on this map also. Sucky into an Inoculus and something I've been testing a little bit. Obviously this is not a match because they gave up or left. They probably just left. There's no reason why they would give up. But I think Sucky is actually pretty good here because it allows you to save up for a 4-key where you can go for many different ones, like both Gonzo, Bonzo, Inoculus, and some others can be pretty good here. Sometimes you want Firkin also. And the Sucky is very tanky and hard to deal with early on, especially if there isn't a Gravedigger, because then it's pretty easy to like bring it down here on the side and it's hard for the opponent to kill it easily. And then you have maybe the Inoculus or the Gonzo behind, which are pretty powerful. Gonzo can buff Sucky to make it super annoying. Then it heals a ton when it attacks, and it also just does a lot of damage then. Because you can double hit with it, despite it being a melee phobie with the like jump thing. So I think that's a pretty interesting thing here. It's probably not optimal, but I kind of want to play something that's not optimal all the time. Sometimes it's more fun to play something slightly different. I hope Saki gets like a small damage buff. I think that would be pretty good. Like if it had 25 more damage, I think it would actually be a decent-ish opener. 50 more damage and it would probably be too strong, maybe. I don't know. But 25 would make it a lot more viable. Just because right now there's a lot of 1-keys it can't kill. Kind of needs that slightly more damage to reach over that point. So that it doesn't end up unable to kill like a Cowbell or something like that. Or Henrietta with a double hit. Because if your like turret or tanky small unit can't kill a 1-key, then it's not really good enough because you can't control space with it anymore then. That's also the reason why Hexy isn't very good. Only deals 300 damage with the attacks, which means you can't kill Cowbell or Henrietta or Electricat or Tickles or things like that with it in 2 hits. Or Cassowary or Murderwing for that matter. Snowball also. There's a very large amount of things you can't kill. Also why you don't see Honey Bear being used as a early opener thing in a lot of cases, because it just can't hold space very well. And this, I think the optimal opener is probably Tooth Fairy, but I'm still not sure. I've been doing Tooth Fairy with a 1-key. The only thing I don't like about it is that I can't go for an early Speedola if I do that. I've also been trying Creep with a 1-key for a bit and Henrietta with 2 1-keys. I really like Henrietta, like at the top side of the map. I think that is a good thing to do. I think I'll try just going Creep with a Henrietta here. I don't think this is optimal, but I want to test it. I really like banking a key on turn 1 as player 1, because it allows me to go for Speedolas or Hematic Ginsting. Could even go Puff if I feel like it. And all of those phobies are very good on this map early on. And just in general here. The interesting thing with this Creep is that you can actually just go to the middle with it if the opponent doesn't bring something fast enough. And even if they bring something up here like a Tooth Fairy or something flying, you can often just sit back here. And it's pretty good. The only bad thing here is if they go Noxious with a 1-key, then the Creep isn't that great. But that's not really a big concern, I feel. Because then you just maybe bring it the other way around, or you let it poison it and you poison back the Noxious, then take a point. And they have to bring a Muffin to heal the Noxious. Or they probably want to at least. This is a pretty interesting counter opener to it. Because now I can't move my Creep up here without it dying. Which is pretty smart. I think I'm just going to move it slightly out here. And then... do I want Speedolas? I probably don't want Speedolas. I think I want Puff here. Puff is probably a better idea. We want it in here. Actually, we should take the point with the Puff. That much is pretty obvious. Could also place it here just to be more aggressive towards this Jar Cannon. But probably not. They can't actually take this point with the Jar Cannon, which is pretty fun. So they're forced to move up here with it, but that's also really bad because I have a Puff sitting in here. So I think that's pretty good for me. Obviously, if they take the point with the Jar Cannon, then I will hit them with the Creep and with my own Jar Cannon. And they will probably be pretty sad about that. This up here is why I like the Henrietta. There's very often good targets for Henrietta coming up on the top side of the map early on. Like Murderwing, Tooth Fairy, even a lot of the other flyers are monsters, so you can poison them. And if a phobie gets poisoned up here, there's a very long distance back to their vault. So I think that's pretty good to do early on, Henrietta. I think it's definitely the best opener 1-key on this map. Other than maybe Sargassum, that's kind of the same idea though. Oh, they're doing that with the Jar Cannon. We're killing their Jar Cannon then. If they do this, okay, maybe they're not doing it. They thought for a bit. That's definitely better for them. If they had done that, they would have... I mean, they wouldn't have instantly lost the game, but it would have been very bad for them. Like, that is a very, very bad thing for you to have happen. So, you obviously can't just lose a jar cannon for free. I think I want Hevo in here. I think I'm just placing it here, maybe? Because otherwise they could maybe do something aggressive on it. With, like, putting Snowball, Electrocat, hitting it, flying down with this. I think that would be annoying if they did something like that. I'm just gonna stay here. I'm also keeping the creep out of the Noxious range. Even though it makes it a lot less dangerous that it's not in here. Not really ever gonna be able to hit the Murderwing if they decide to fight up here. But that's just fine. They're obviously not going to fight anyway, because they want to take all of the points. I think the Hevo is also a pretty good choice into the Noxious, because they can't poison this. So it just gets to run in here and maybe even take the middle point. Or pretty much free. Which I kind of like. Oh, they're bringing a... Really? Miss Muffet into what I have right now? I mean, Miss Muffet isn't necessarily bad on this map if the opponent is fighting up here or something. But, like, right here, though, I don't really have that great of a target for it in here. For them right now, at least. Also, I'm just gonna hit this jar cannon. They can't do anything that crazy to this, and it's out of range from this. Do I want to just take the middle point? I think I do want to just take the middle point. And then we can move this in here. And hold this point with the puff. And then I think I still want Speedolas on this map. Do I want a Gonzo? That's so slow though. I kind of want a Forky, but I don't like that all of them gets poisoned because they have 2 poison phobies here. All of the ones I want to go for at least get poisoned. Guess we can just go Daisy. And be fine with them poisoning it. If it comes to that. Next turn we can go for either Hematic Ginsting or Speedolas. I'm also considering going Bluelian on this map a lot. Because there's so many people bringing Noxious. So I might do that here. Depending on what they do. Really? They're using the pull on that? I don't know if that's a good idea for them, to be honest. Makes this very vulnerable to being attacked. I mean, I can just walk up and hit them with this Hevo now, if I want to. Okay, they're bringing some support out for it. I'm guessing that goes out here. Or maybe they're just defending the... Yeah, they're just defending this a bit more. Staying closer. Do I want to poison any of them? Not right now, I don't think. I think I just do something like this. Could move the creep up here, but I don't really like that all that much. Put this further up so that it can't get poisoned. Creep really wants to go up here though. Problem is just that they can kill it very easily if I do that. I don't think I should go Speedolas when they have this, should I? Probably not. When it's already out there. It's better to just do this, I think. I don't know where to put this creep, though. Maybe just put it all the way back here. Even though that kind of feels terrible. Could also just keep the Hevo in here, actually. They're not able to kill it, are they? 1000... Are they able to kill it? Yeah, they are able to kill it. If they bring in the jar cannon, so let's not do that then. They could also try killing this, maybe. No, that's not enough damage, I don't think. This is fine, I'm pretty sure. The Henry or the Miss Moffat is going to be up next turn, so that's a bit scary. But outside of that, this looks pretty okay for me. I think. Really, they're just moving like this. This is essentially trading the Puff for the Miss Muffet, but they used both of these abilities, so I don't think they'll be in a good position to fight next turn. I think I'm just gonna kill this and say it's fine if they wanna fight like that. Pretty sure that would favor me, because they've used both of these abilities now, and they don't really have that much power in here. Finnegan. I think I can avoid the Finnegan while still being aggressive here. Probably bring Klopster or something like that. Because I want some more 6 keys and I want something fast. Oh, that's the wrong order actually. Wait, no it's not. That's the same. The fire damage is the same. This has to go here, which means this has to go here, I think. Because if it goes here, it can be pushed by this, and they can maybe set up a good push. I don't know if there's even a good push for that, but maybe they find something, which I don't want them to. This can sit here, I think. Now if they kill the Puff, I get to hit back for a lot also. I wonder if I should just go Snowball, actually. Even faster than Klopster. And then we bring something else down here, like a 1 key. Is there any that good 1 keys to go for, though? In this case, not really. It's probably fine to just go Klopster, right? This doesn't reach that well, though. I think Snowball is a better choice, even though it looks weird in this situation. We can go Hevo 2.0 also. They just don't have any like walking units that I want to push right now. So maybe that's not that great. They're actually forced to kill this if they want it dead. So they have to give up something if they're doing that. I guess they can fly in with this and kill both the Daisy and the Puff. And that is probably their best fighting move, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, I don't know what exactly they're doing right now. Now they just aren't killing this. That definitely can't be right, because then I get to kill their Murderwing for essentially free. And I can do a lot of damage to them with the other things here if I want to. I feel like that can't be right. Smiley. That's too slow, I think. I can also save the Puff if I want to. I just don't know if that's a good idea. Yeah. Also kind of want to kill this right now. This is not enough, right? No, it's not. It's a little bit annoying. That means I have to waste a lot of hits on this, but whatever. I think I'm just gonna kill the thing here, which means I should do this with Hevo. We're just gonna kill this and call it a day with that. Poison this thing. Is this enough damage on its own? Yes, it is. That's very nice, because that means I can kill this too, I think. Oh, that's definitely game over for them. Do we want this Hero 2.0 in here? I think I just want something flying, actually. Or maybe Mr. Trambles is good. Very fast. But right now, Mr. Trambles is probably the best here. I could have saved the Puff and maybe not killed the Murder Wing, but I feel like that's wrong. That's just playing too slow. Could also have been correct to bring 2 units. Like have a Clubster sit here and then Finnegan here or something. That might have been better. Oh, they can't kill that. That's definitely a level difference. That's unlucky. Oof. I think I just go on their heart here. I think I just kill them next turn, actually, even. We kill this now, we take this point, we run through the Jar Cannon with the Tramples. We have 3.5 units on their heart. Counting the Snowball as a half, because it really doesn't do that much damage. And then they just die, right? Because I have enough Panic Point control. I could also take this point. That might be a better idea. And then we also take this down here. We just have too many points. Let's see. This is definitely correct because it's so much damage to their heart. And then I feel like I just hit them with the Hematic once. Then we take this point and we hit it with this once. And that's enough. And then we just Roni to the bottom for some extra damage. And go for a flyer in here. I could also have put these in a bit more of an aggressive position on the heart, but I'd rather take the point. Do something like this. I think they're just dead next turn no matter what, because they're taking 3k damage, like between this and their turn. I guess they take a point, so not fully 3k, but it's close. So they're definitely still taking, like, how much is that? I'm assuming they will take this also. So that's 700 damage more if they take the Droney Panic Point. Even if they take both of these, yeah, it looks like that's what they're doing, but I think they're just still dead. Even if they do that, because this deals so much damage to the heart. Mr. Trample is a fantastic heart rusher if the opponent is, like, playing slow. They shouldn't have gone for Smiley here. That was definitely too slow, but I think they were already behind before then. Now they're only taking 200, but they're still just dead because of all this coming in. Yep. They were slightly underleveled there, but I don't think it would have mattered. They could have, like, killed a Snowball maybe with higher levels, but that's all that would have changed. And I don't even think that killing the Snowball was actually better in that situation. Necessarily. Because the creep was also pretty good there in the position that it was in. And the Snowball had already used its ability, so it wasn't worth very much on that turn. Snowball gets very weak when it doesn't have the ability. Then it's essentially like almost a 1 key in terms of power. Or it kind of is a 1 key in terms of power, it's just slightly faster than normal 1 keys. Oh, another The Rings match here. Also, I just cut the match there because I got 2 underleveled opponents in a row. So no reason to have that in the video. I still really like the Henrietta up here. Not sure what else I should be doing though. I think Tooth Fairy to this tile is the normal thing, which makes some sense. Forces the opponent to also bring a flyer or something fast. But I still don't know if that's necessarily the best thing you can do though. Just because everyone is doing it doesn't mean it's right. Could also go Snowball to this tile. I think I'll try that, just to not do the Tooth Fairy that everyone is doing. Better to experiment a little bit. Also, they are probably going Frosty on this. Every large map they go Frosty on pretty much, but especially if there's Abyss tiles and stuff like that, then Magic Saga is very, what do you want to call it? Like, they lean towards Frosty a lot. They go for it pretty much every match that they can. It's only if you like super hard rush them that they don't bring it pretty much, in my experience. Which makes sense because, I mean, first of all, they've been doing it for a while, so it's not just because they're spamming it. But it is also extremely strong right now, so why wouldn't you, right? They're actually going for it already, it looks like. Wonder what I should do against that. Probably bring a Sparky or something like that, I would say. They're definitely just going for it already, I would guess, if they're banking to 9. Could also be an Akira, but I feel like they don't really play for that. And that would also be a very bad turn 2 play, in my opinion. Then I would just go all flyers. The Frosty is actually fairly scary though. They can take the middle point, bring the Frosty up here, take this point, kind of stabilize that way. Then if I go for the Rusty, they would just lock me and they would kill the Snowball, so I wouldn't be able to fight for this point down here. So I would have to just kill the middle thing, I guess. Which is probably what I'm gonna do here. Why are they not taking the point? I can't say I understand that, why they're not doing that. Not sure what the reasoning behind not taking the point here would be. Should I go super aggressive, maybe? Could try doing this. This is like extremely aggressive. But I feel like I have to be when they are banking to Rusty. Not being aggressive when they're doing something like that is just not really an option, I think. I think I want multiple phobies then. So we go for something like this. I can't really bring a Cassowary here, can I? They would just snowball it very easily then. Actually, if they snowball it, then they have to bring the Frosty down, right? Like if we fly down here, snowball, I hit. I don't know if I like that. Could also just be a Wiggy. It's a bit higher health. This can take the point up here, which is a bit annoying. There isn't any good freeze for them, right? I guess they can freeze these two. And heal it, maybe? That might be the best freeze, but that's not that good, I don't think. There is also a world where they go too slow and I just go super aggressive and kill them. What? Oh, they reset. I was like, why would you do that? Makes sense here. What they did. can't kill this thing, unfortunately, which means I should just hit it with the Henrietta, I guess. Okay, there's the expected Noxious. We definitely just poison this thing. Get it out of here. Have to keep this safe, which would mean it goes up there. We have to be careful with the freeze from this. Honestly, I think I just take this point with the Electricat. And keep out of range from this, freezing me. Then I bring my own Noxious, maybe. Or do I want something else against that? Could also just be a Murderwing angle, but I don't like that when they have Noxious sitting in here. This is a bit awkward because they both have an electrical and a poison unit. So, whichever path I'm taking, it feels like they will have something that is good against me. I could kill this and lock my Ray down. I hadn't really thought about that. Kind of too late to do anything about right now, though. That might be what they do here, though. They just kill the Henrietta and lock my Ray Chargels. That is actually rather annoying, because it makes it very easy to kill this or freeze it next turn. Looks like that might be what they're doing. Okay, maybe not. I mean, it is a very big waste of the Noxious ability if they had done that. And now they're just defending their panic points, which makes sense. They also definitely want to kill this Razormouth and get a 1-key down there, because I'm going for a hard rush. Most likely, with them having a Frosty already. There's no way they leave this Electricat. I'm definitely killing that somehow, I think. It's also pretty awkward for them to kill it and replace it with a 1-key, though, because I can probably use the Noxious on the 1-key if they do that. And that can be pretty bad for them. So this is a fairly rough position for them right now, but it also should be. They went for a 9-key on turn 2. If it wasn't rough for them right now, there would definitely be something wrong with the game, so I think that makes sense. Are they really not killing my Electricat? I guess they want to keep me unit locked. That's probably what's going on here. They do a full bank. They're definitely doing this to keep me unit locked. There's no doubt about that. What do I do against that, though? Definitely want to take this, but I'm considering just straight up dropping another fireball on this like that. I still get to take the point, and this deals a lot of damage to their Rusty here. I think I'll just do something like this. Then we keep this like here, maybe? Actually, maybe we kill this with something else. And we hit the Noxious here with all that I can. Like this. Something like that. That splits up all of my phobies. I think I just hold this point also. Places the Noxious in a very vulnerable position, and this can get frozen when I do this. But it's also very awkward for them to deal with all of these things. Actually, no, wait. I can't do that. That was almost very bad for me. They can line attack freeze the Ray Chargels here, but it's in a fairly good position. If I had done what I was doing, they would have hit the snowball once and got a freeze off on both the, what's it called, the Wiggy and my Ray, which I can't let them do for obvious reasons. Okay, they're killing that. We still have the snowball sitting in here. They have to kill this Electric Cat now. They're getting way too low. I definitely didn't do that correctly, obviously, because I had to redo my entire turn in 2 seconds. This should have been further in by 1 tile, and this should have moved up here. But what can you do? Should have set back here, the creep, and this should have been here. But that's fine. Definitely better than letting them get that freeze off. They would have hit the snowball once and then frozen both the Wiki and the Ray Chargers, which would have been instantly game over, probably. Also, that is a beauty. That's scary. Very scary. Probably use Noxious on that, actually, to force them to use this. And we just play for damage, maybe. Do something like this. Should the creep even go up here? Don't know if it should. Probably should. And then we do this. We can bring 1 big phobie here. Only 1, though. Maybe that's Mr. Tramples or something? What is the best thing I can bring here? There has to be something fast and or flying. Which kind of only leaves me with either Mr. Tramples or Puff, I think. I might lock this creep. But what can you do? Puff is also nice, but it can't be in a good position because it, like, the reason to go Puff would be unfreezing this Ray Chargers, but if I do that, then I can't go in with the Wiki because I would have to place the Noxious 1 tile further down or I would get line attacked. And if I can't go in with the Wiki, then the Wiki is extremely awkward here. So I think I have to do something like this. I'm trying to force them to use the Cupcake here. Which they are obviously going to do. They have to both remove the poison and they want to kill the Noxious. So that they can reclaim the middle point. But that also means they have to deal with the Wiki somehow, which is nice. And this Ray is in an awkward position, where if it moves too far forward, I can kill it with these two. They're probably going to put it on, like, this tile. That's the only tile where it's not easy to deal with. But really? Are they killing the snowball with their Frosty then? That would make it very easy for me to be aggressive. I can also reclaim the middle point here with my Electric Cat if they don't kill it. Okay, they are killing it, maybe? Or maybe not. They would need Wiki, I think, instead of this. But I don't even know if Wiki is enough damage. That's only if they're over-leveled. Which I guess they are. But if they Wiki it, they can't take the point. So that's also not that good for them then. Okay, how much health does this heart have now? This doesn't have the ability up. Can't I just sit next to their heart? No, these would definitely be able to kill it, right? But I could just kill these, maybe? This is a bit interesting because I don't think I can just sit to their heart here, like this. This is 1700. Then you have 6, and they can definitely kill it if I do that. So that's no good. I definitely have to kill this in the middle, though. What if we do this kind of thing? That way we get to keep pressuring the heart while also killing it, even though it looks very weird to do. And then we just move forward slightly with this, maybe. So that we can use the poison ability on their heart. And we want something fast again. Maybe a Rambo. And we also want a 2-key, obviously. Should be a tankier one like K9000. Something like this, I think. My Snowball is unfrozen now, so they have to kill it. And the same go for the Ray Chargers. So I think they die here. I don't think there's a way where they can defend completely against this. They went like a bit too slow. To not say way too slow. Because they wanted the Frosty out that early. I think Frosty's definitely good here, but I think going for it on turn 2 is way too early. I almost screwed up by giving them a really good freeze with it earlier though. So, not like they can't win with it. Even if it's early. This K9000 is great because it also threatens to take this point up here right now. And it's very hard to kill while still being able to fight back if they place something next to it. And then we have Rambolina, which can move enemies out of the way so that I can easily get to their heart if I need to. But I won't even need that here. I can just walk up to their heart and hit it. It could also move them off panic points so that I can get panic points that way. But yeah, they're definitely just dead to Mr. Trambles here. He's just gonna walk up and hit them. And they can't block it. Like, even if they had tried to block it with a... what's it called? With the Noxious or something, then I would have the Rambolina back here. That could walk up like this and like push them away. You can imagine. Like that. So they would always die from that spot. And even if they weren't like dead here, I could have killed their Frosty and probably one or two of the other phobies. So I'm not even sure I would lose in like a value fight. So that was not really that close because they went for it a bit too early. I think if they had done something like 1-key Creep Murderwing into 1-key full bank and then Frosty, then you can definitely bring it very early still. But going for it on turn 2 with like basically no turn 1 play, that is a little bit too much, I think. Like that's too much tempo that you throw away. Especially if you're player 2. That's not something you can do. I think they only went for a 1-key, didn't they? I can't even remember what their opener was. You can go for 2 1-keys, but that's still too slow. So don't bring Frosty on turn 2 unless you're on a very stall heavy map. Then you can maybe do it. But in almost every case, you should be bringing some smaller phobies first, and then you can bank for it for like turn 3, 4, 5 maybe if you want it early on. Maybe wait a bit longer for most maps, to be honest. Just so you don't get overwhelmed like that. But you can see the Frosty couldn't even really do that much early on because I just brought so many things to fight it with. It doesn't have enough power to kill all of those small things. And if it stayed around, it would have just died. So that put them in a pretty bad position. Either way, good game though. I could have lost it there in the middle if I let them get the kill on the Snowball with double freeze on me. Then I would probably have lost that game. So still pretty scary. Frosty is just very, very scary.